MS Swaminathan Research Foundation has been an incredible blessing, starting so small 30 years ago with just Dr. Swaminathan, a few people, and an idea, a vision. And now it's grown into this amazing research facility that's got 300 people and working on the most important issues. So for 30 years, it's reflected the intellect of MS Swaminathan, one of the 2 or 3 most brilliant agricultural scientists alive today. And he has set the stage, he's defined the issues. And now they have been institutionalized. The structure is here. It's being passed to the next generation. Thank goodness, his birthday, he's still with us. He's still providing that intellectual concept of what the research center should be and to focus it. It's so important to have focus, to understand what are the key issues to be overcome. Where are we going? The next 10 years are so critical. After all, right now, our species faces the single greatest challenge human beings have ever had to confront. Can we sustainably and nutritiously feed 9 to 10 billion people in the world? And clearly, in India, in Africa, the challenge is going to be the most acute. So, India has 6 World Food Prize laureates. It has incredible brain power, scientific capability, but it needs institutions to focus it, to drive it. So I think that's the message for the 30th anniversary. We're only halfway there, and the next 30 years are so important, so critical. And we need Dr. Swaminathan's inspiration with us for all 30 of those years. Focus, in my view, should be on how do we uplift the smallholder farmers. There are close to 1 billion people out of the 7.5 billion on our planet who live in food insecurity, who face hunger and uncertainty and malnutrition. They're the most critical. And how do we get to them? How do you get to the smallholder farmer, particularly since so many of the smallholder farmers are women? So research and policies need to be focused on giving those smallholders the maximum opportunity to get beyond food deficits, to get beyond food sufficiency, to get so they are producing a surplus, so they become business persons, so their farm becomes not just subsistence, staying alive or feeding your family. No, it's using science to produce 2 crops a year or extra crops, higher nutrition crops, so that the farmers, smallholders, are making money. It can be done, but it takes the research about how do you do that? How do you give them the tools? So what tools are necessary? What is the mindset of the smallholder farmer, particularly women? And so there are issues about land ownership, land tenure can be important. How do you get the benefits of research to them? How do you have appropriate extension? So sometimes results can be attained in English, and then they're translated to Hindi. And then from Hindi, they have to go to the languages that are spoken in villages. So there are several steps, and that takes well-trained extension workers and people who can work in several languages. So using satellites and using television training, all of these 21st century tools and techniques, along with how do we deal with climate volatility, what's happening with the weather patterns, with the monsoon, with seas rising? Is there saltwater intrusion? There's so many things, but it takes coming up with a plan, and it takes a research center. It takes people who understand farmers to be able to put the programs together and help shape government policy on the one hand, and know how to interact with farmers on the other. That's what, to me, MS Swaminathan Research Foundation should be all about.